Dum-ba-dum.
Hi, everyone. Oh, sorry, I just noticed Aurora's background. We all have backgrounds today. We have them every day, but these are special backgrounds.
Christian looks around. He's like, I do.
Christian, you have.
Where is mine? No one gave it to me.
You have the wall.
He is minimalist.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a lamp.
But he does have a...
He has a sword. That's a lot.
It's a
True.
lot. Yeah. Is that a sword or is that a fence? What do you call a fence?
An epee?
Is that
is
what it's
foil.
called?
An epee, a foil?
A foil.
Haha!
Ha. I remember the words. So we are doing part 2 of Cyrano. Forewarning, just because I appreciate this sometimes. There is death. We will be dealing with that. But
Not unlike
this
many
plays
of the
a million years old,
Shakespeares.
so it's not really a spoiler. Yeah. So, we're going to be doing part 2. So where we left off last week with Cyrano in part 1, I'll just give a quick summary. We met Cyrano. He's an awesome guy. He is a Renaissance man of everything, except he has a honk and schnoz, which he is very ashamed of, and everyone is, and he doesn't think he's worthy of love or will ever be loved because he has a very large nose. He has been helping a young man named Christian, who is not played by Christian. He's been helping a young man named Christian write letters to Roxane, who both of them are in love with. And all sorts of fun hijinks ensue. What happened right when we left off was we learned that both Cyrano and Christian were going to be taken to war. They were going to be battling. And Roxane, the woman who they both love, said, Cyrano, I need you to make sure that Christian is okay, like protect him. You protect and attack. And then he said, okay, and promised that Christian would write to her. As our Christian leaves momentarily.
And-
he is back.
And they got married, right? Christian and Roxane?
What?
Christian and Roxane got married, right?
They
Yeah.
did get married.
Yes.
Yeah, that's also a
They
big thing that
did.
happened. There was
Okay,
a marriage.
I was like, huh?
It
No
happened
spoilers here.
off stage, but it did happen.
And then I sent that bitch to war.
Yeah, and then we were like, no.
So cold.
So I'll just say who I am playing. I am going to be playing Roxane.
Roxane.
Retna, who are you going to be playing today?
Hi, I am going to be playing Cadet and Spanish Officer and Mother Marguerite. And I shall pass the microphone to David.
Hi there. I will be playing the baker poet Ragueneau. And I'm going to pass the mic off to Aurora.
Hello, I'm Aurora. I will be playing Bret. And I'm going to pass it off to Jonathan.
Hello, I'm Jonathan. I am playing Christian, and I will pass it on to Christian.
I'm Christian, and I will continue playing Cyrano, and I will pass it off to the ever delightful Mitch Narito.
Hi, everybody. Today I will be playing Carbone and Sister Martha, and last but not least, Mr. Adin Rudd.
Hello, I am Aiden, and I will be playing De Guiche and the second cadet. De Guiche is a rich guy, and he is also a very bad person. So
He's a wiener.
he's a very big wiener.
Your wiener.
He's like a 13-inch wiener.
Whoa!
Heyo.
Before we start, I forgot. Wait,
On that note,
Christian.
And that's
Okay.
how De Guiche gets rid of Cyrano.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Before I forget, before we start, Mitch, Are you doing something next week around Thursday? ?
Oh, yes. On Thursday nights, me and a group of Filipino actors are performing to raise funds for AAPI month. So if anybody's interested, follow me on my socials, Twitter and Instagram, and I can DM you the information.
So it's this Thursday, the 27th. If you follow at Mitch Narito on Twitter or Instagram. I'm just typing all this out.
He can send you the information there. And it's also posted, and I think I also retweeted it too, so if I can find it, I will also
Thank you, everybody, for the support. I appreciate it.
No, I'm excited. It looks really fun. All right. So shall we do a show?
I think we should do a show.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right.
Disappear.
Do
As am I. We are beginning in Act 4. The cadets of Gascony are in a siege. They're all wrapped and sleeping. It's a very quiet time. Bret and Carbon are keeping watch. They're pale, thin. Christian is sleeping among others in his cloak in the foreground. And there's a little fire, and it's quiet.
Oh, 'tis terrible.
Not a morsel of food left,
Mon Dieu.
because under your breath you will awake them. Oh, plague, take their firing, 'twill wake my men.
Firing again?
'Tis nothing, 'tis Cyrano coming back.
BwtB, who goes there?
Bergerac!
I ask again, who goes there?
Bergerac, idiot!
Oh. Ah, heavens! Cyrano, is that you?
Motioning to people that they should not wake the others. So very silently he is saying, hush.
Wounded? Oh no. Have we lost Cyrano?
Cyrano is Cyranoping.
We interrupt this program for technical difficulties. This is Deva
Broadcasting system.
Radio. Yes. This is, DBS. Not
Bing,
CBS.
bing, bing.
DBS. Where?
Ah,
Uh-oh.
in the war, his internet has died. It
Oh.
will reemerge.
Go ahead, Paris. Go ahead, London.
We can't hear you. I'm so excited to be here. I was so excited to write this play on behalf of Lux Soap.
I was just about to say, this
When the blood of
program-
war soils my uniforms, I clean it off with Lux Soap.
I didn't.
I am going to text Christian and make sure everything. We can probably just start from the top because we were not very
Sounds
far
good.
in.
Absolutely. Oh, he's here.
See how. He is here.
Un moment, s'il vous plaît.
And we'll start at the.
I was so much farther away than I anticipated.
Cyrano, you made it through the harshness of the bad internet connection and you made it all this way to the battlement.
Never underestimate the power of good wireless in a war.
So now, that is what you call a rehearsal. So let's. So
Wah,
now
wah,
we'll
wah.
actually
Bring it
do the thing. Yeah.
So we're gonna roll it back to the beginning of Act 4.
Yeah.
The cadets of Gascony are all asleep. There's a fire. It's cold. Carbon and Bret are keeping watch.
It is still terrible.
There is still not a morsel of food left.
Oh, mon Dieu.
Curse under your breath, you will awake them. Oh, plague, take their firing, 'twill wake my men.
Oh, sleep on. Sleep on.
Firing again.
'Tis nothing, 'tis Cyrano coming back.
BwtB, who goes there?
Bergerac!
Are you sure? I ask again. Who goes there?
It's Bergerac this time.
Oh, heavens!
Shh. Hush.
Wounded?
Oh, you know, it is because they've become accustomed to shoot at me every morning and to miss me.
This passes all. To take letters at each day's dawn. To risk.
I promised he should write often. He sleeps. How pale he is, but how handsome still, despite his sufferings. If his poor little lady love knew he was dying of hunger.
Get you quick to bed.
Nay, never scold, Bret. I ran but little risk. I have found me a spot to pass the Spanish lines, where each night they lie drunk.
You should try to bring us back provision.
Weight of provisions would give me trouble passing, but there will be a surprise for us this night. The French will eat or die, if I mistake not.
Tell me.
Nay, not yet. I'm not certain. We shall see.
It is disgraceful that we should starve while we are besieging.
Alas, how full of complication is this siege of Arras. To think that while we are besieging, we should ourselves be caught in a trap and besieged by the Cardinal Infante of Spain.
It were well done if he should be besieged in his turn.
I am in earnest.
Indeed.
To think you risk your life, so precious, for the sake of a letter, and a thankless one. Where are you going?
I'm going to write another.
Cyrano goes into his tent and disappears, but the internet remains intact. The day is breaking. It is dawn in Arras. The report of cannon is heard in the distance. There are beating of drums. There are lots of drums. There's the camp waking up and officers in the distance.
Ah, the reveille. Nourishing sleep. Why must you end? I know well what would be my cadet's first cry.
I'm dying of hunger.
Up with you.
I can't move a limb. And look, my tongue is yellow. The air at this season of the year is hard to digest. If I'm not fed, I shall retire to my tent like Achilles.
Cyrano,
We cadets are dying.
come to my aid. You are who are quick wit and gay jest. Hearten them up.
'Tis poor hunting around Arras.
I've been after game and fish.
What have you brought? A pheasant? A carp? Show me quick!
A gudgeon and a sparrow.
'Tis more than can be borne. We will mutiny!
Cyrano, come to my help.
And daylight. The same Cyrano appears.
What is wrong? Why drag you your legs so sorrowfully?
I have something in my heels which weighs them down.
What may that be?
My stomach.
So have I, Faith.
It must be in your way.
Nay, I am not the taller.
But my stomach's hollow.
Faith, 'twill make a fine drum to sound the assault.
I have a ringing in my ears.
No, 'tis false. A hungry stomach has no ears.
To eat something.
Behold, your helmet, your salad.
What in God's name can we devour?
The Iliad.
You'd have me eat a book. I'm as ravenous as an ogre.
Eat your patience, then.
Oh, always your pointed word.
Aye, pointed words. I would fain die thus some soft summer eve, making a pointed word for a good cause. To make a soldier's end by soldier's sword, wielded by some brave adversary, die on blood-stained turf, not on a fever bed. Point upon my lips, point within my heart.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
All your thoughts of meat and drink. Call the fifer. He who was a shepherd once. Draw from its double leathern case your fife. Play to these greedy, guzzling soldiers. Play old country airs, with plaintive rhythm recurring, where lurk sweet echoes of dear home voices, each note of which calls like a little sister. Hark, the music, Gascons. 'Tis no longer the piercing fife of the camp, the flute of the woods, no more the call to combat. 'Tis now the love song of the wandering goat. Hark, 'tis the valley, the wetlands, the forest, the sunburnt shepherd boy with scarlet beret, the dusk of evening on the Dordogne River. 'Tis Gascony. Hark, Gascons, to the music.
He's making us cry, it sucks.
I know.
But you make them weep.
Aye. For homesickness, a nobler pain than hunger, is of the soul, not of the body.
But you weaken their courage by playing thus on their heartstrings.
Not I. The hero that sleeps in Gascon blood is ever ready to awaken them. 'Twould suffice. The drum.
What? What is it?
You see? One roll of the drum is enough. Goodbye dreams, regrets, native land love, all that the pipe called forth, the drum is chased away.
Oh, here comes Monsieur de Guiche.
A flattering welcome.
We are sick to death of him, with his lace collar over his armor, playing the fine gentleman as if one wore linen over steel. It were good for a bandage had he boils on his neck. Just another plodding courtier.
For all that, a Gascon.
Aye, false Gascon. Trust him not. Gascon should be crack-brained, not more dangerous than a rational Gascon.
How pale he is.
Oh, he's hungry, just like us poor devils. But under his queer ass, with its fine gilt nails, his stomach ache glitters brave in the sun.
Let us not seem to suffer either. I shall read Descartes.
In comes de Guiche, while Cyrano is reading. De Guiche looks
Hey!
happy. Everyone's pale.
Good day. Here are the rebels. Aye, sirs, on all sides I hear that in your ranks you scoff at me. That the cadets, these loutish, mountain-bred, poor country squires, scarce find for me their colonel a disdain. Call me a plotter, wily courtier. It does not please their mightiness to see a point-lace collar on my steel cuirass, and they enrage, because a man, in sooth, may be no ragged robin, yet a gachon. Shall I command your captain to punish you?
I am free and will not punish them.
Ah,
I have paid my company. They are my men. I bow only to headquarters.
that will suffice. I can despise your taunts. 'Tis well known how I bear me in the war. At Bapaume yesterday, they saw the rage with which I beat back the Count of Vauquois. Assembling my own men, I fell on his and charged 3 separate times.
And your white scarf.
You know that detail? Troth, it happened thus. While recalling the troops, a band of fugitives bore me with them, close by the hostile ranks. I was in peril when I thought to loosen and let fall the scarf, which told my military rank. Thus, I contrived to leave the foes, and suddenly returning, reinforced with my own men to scatter them. And now what say you, sir?
The cadets are ignoring them.
I say that Henri Quatre had not, by any dangerous odds, been forced to strip himself of his helmet white plume.
The ruse succeeded well.
Oh, that may be. But one does not lightly abdicate the honor to serve as target to the enemy. Had I been present when your scarf fell low, our courage, sir, is of a different sort. I would have picked it up and put it on.
Oh, aye, another gashon boast.
A boast! I pledge myself tonight to lead the assault.
Another gashon vaunt! You know the scarf lies with the enemy upon the brink of the stream. The place is riddled now with gunfire. No one can fetch it hither.
Here it is.
I thank you. It will now enable me to make a signal that I had forborne to make till now.
He climbs up to the rampart and waves it.
What's that?
See you, yon man down there. Who runs? 'Tis a false Spanish spy who is extremely useful to my ends. The news he carries to the enemy are those I prompt him with. In a word, we have an influence on their decisions.
Scoundrel!
'Tis opportune! What will we say? I have news for you. Last evening, the Marshal secretly went to Darlands, where the King's provisions are. But, to return to camp more easily, he took with him a goodly force of troops. Half of the army is absent from the camp.
Aye, if the Spaniards knew 'twere ill for us, they know nothing of it.
Oh, they know. They will attack us. For my false spy came to warn me of their attack. I said to my spy, go out of camp, but watch my signal. Choose the point from whence it comes.
Make ready.
'Twill be in an hour.
Good.
Time must be gained. The Marshal will return.
I'll gain it.
you will all be good enough to let yourselves be killed.
Vengeance! Oh,
I do not say that. If I loved you well, I had chosen you and yours. But as things stand, I serve my king and serve my grudges well.
permit that I express my gratitude.
I know you love to fight against 50. You will not now complain of paltry odds.
Christian,
Roxane,
alas,
at least I'd send my heart's farewell to her in a fair letter.
I had suspicion it would be today, and had already writ.
Show.
Will you...
Hold
What?
this little spot.
A spot?
A tear.
Poets at last, by dint of counterfeiting, take counterfeit for true. That is the charm. This farewell letter, it was passing sad. I wept myself in writing it.
I wept.
Ne'er to see her more. That is death's sting, for I shall never... We shall. I mean, you.
Give me that letter.
Who goes there? Hello?
What is it?
'Tis a carriage.
In the camp? It's from the enemy. Fire! Oh, the coachman cries on the king's service.
The king's service? How?
Uncover all!
The carriage enters at full speed, covered in dust and mud. Curtains are drawn close. 2 lackeys. It pulls up suddenly.
Beat a salute!
Lower the carriage steps.
The door opens.
Good day.
On the king's service? You?
Aye, king's love. What other king?
Great God.
Why have you come?
Oh, this siege, 'tis too long.
God, dare I look at her.
You cannot remain here.
Oh, but I say yes. My carriage was fired at by the patrol. Oh, you would not think 'twas. You would think 'twas made of a pumpkin, like Cinderella's chariot in the tail, and the footmen out of rats. Oh, good morrow, Christian. Oh, you look merry, all of you. Know you that 'tis a long road to get to Arras? Oh, Monsieur Cyrano, delighted.
But how, in heaven's name?
How was I to find my way to the army? 'Twas simple enough, for I had but to pass on and on as far as I saw the country laid waste. Oh, what horrors there were. Had I not seen them, I could never have believed it. Well, gentlemen, if such service be of your king, I would fainer serve mine.
But 'tis sheer madness. Where in the fiend's name did you get through?
Where? Through the Spanish lines.
For subtle craft, give me a woman.
How did you pass through their lines? That must have been a hard matter.
None too hard. I drove quietly forward in my carriage when some hidalgo of haughty mind would have stayed me. Lo, I showed at my window my sweetest smile, and those signors, with no disrespect to you, the most gallant gentleman in the world, I passed on.
True, that smile is a passport. But you must have been asked frequently to give an account of where you were going, madame.
Yes, frequently. Then I would answer, I go to see my lover. At that word, the very fiercest Spaniard of them all would gravely shut the carriage door, and with a gesture that a king might envy, make signal to his men to lower the muskets leveled at me. Then, with melancholy but withal very graceful dignity, he would bow low, saying to me, "Pass on, señorita." Oh, forgive me. I said my lover, but bethink you I had said my husband, and not one of them would have let me pass.
You must leave this place.
And that instantly.
No time to lose.
Indeed, you must.
Oh, but wherefore must I?
'Tis that...
In 3/4 of an hour.
Or for...
It were best.
You might.
Are you are going to fight? I stay here.
No!
It's my husband! They shall kill us both together.
The post of mortal danger!
Mortal danger?
Proof enough that he has put us here.
So, sir, you would have made a widow of me?
Nay, on my oath, no.
I will not go. I am reckless now and shall not stir from here. Oh, besides, 'tis amusing.
So our precious is a brave white plume.
Ooh, we will defend you well.
I have no fear of that, my friends. I have chosen a hat that will suit me well on the battlefield. But were it not wisest that the Count retire? They may begin the attack.
That is not to be brooked. I go to inspect the cannon and shall return. You have still time. Think better of it.
Never.
De Guiche goes out.
Roxane.
Naught shall make me stir from this spot.
It is perchance more seemly such things are thus, that I present to you some of these gentlemen who are about to have the honor of dying before your eyes. Pray upon the hand that holds your kerchief.
Why?
My company had no flag, but now they will have the fairest in all the camp.
'Tis somewhat small.
But 'tis of lace.
I could die happy having seen so sweet a face, if I had something in my stomach, were it but a nut.
Shame on you! What talk of eating when a lovely woman...
I myself am famished. Pastries, cold meats, old wines. Pray, bring it all here.
All that? But where on earth find it?
Look a little closer at my coachman, gentlemen, and you will recognize a man most welcome.
'Tis Ragueneau.
Kind fair.
Gentlemen! The Spaniards gazing on a lady so dainty fair, o'erlook the fair so dainty.
Mark, Christian.
And occupied with gallantry, perceive it not? The meal.
Prithee, one word.
And Venus so attracted their eyes that Diana could secretly pass by with her fawn.
I must speak to you.
Truffled peacock, the cushions are stuffed with ortolans.
Oh my gosh.
Flasks of rubies, flasks of topaz.
Lots of
Unfold me
wine.
that napkin. Come.
Each of the carriage lamps is a little larder.
I must speak with you ere you speak to her.
My whip handle is an Arles sausage.
Since we are to die, let the rest of the army shift for itself. All for the Gascons, and mark, if De Guiche comes, let no one invite him. There, you have time enough. Oh, do not eat too fast. Drink a little. Oh, why are you crying?
It's all so good.
Some bread for Monsieur Carbon. Pass your plate. Some more? Oh, let me help you.
How I worship her.
What will you?
Nothing.
Oh, nay. Take this biscuit, steeped in muscat.
Tell me why you came.
Hush now. In a few minutes, My first duty is to these poor fellows.
De Guiche, he comes.
Quick, hide flasks, plates, pie dishes, game baskets, hurry! Let us all look unconscious. Is everything covered up?
In an instant, all is hidden. De Guiche enters hurriedly, stops suddenly, sniffs the air. It gets awkward.
Smells good here. What's the matter? You're very red.
The matter? Nothing. 'Tis my blood boiling at the thought of the coming battle.
What's that?
Nothing. 'Tis a song.
You are merry, my dear friend.
The approach of danger is intoxicating.
Captain! Plague take me. You look the approach of intoxicating danger, too.
Oh?
I have one cannon left, and I've had it carried there, in that corner. Your men can use it in case of need.
Oh, kind solicitude!
How? They're all gone crazy. Are you not used to cannon? No, wait. How? They're all gone crazy. As you are not used to cannon, beware of the recoil.
Gascon cannons never recoil.
You are tipsy. But what with?
With the smell of powder.
Briefly, madam, what decision do you deign to take?
I stay here.
You must fly.
No, I will stay.
Since things are thus, give me a musket, one of you.
Wherefore?
Because I too mean to remain.
At last, this is true valor, sir.
Oh, then you are Gascon after all, spite of your lace collar?
What is all this?
I leave no woman in peril.
Hark you, think you not we might give him something to eat?
Victuals?
Yes, you'll see them coming from under every coat.
Do you think I will eat your leavings?
You make progress.
I will fight without breaking my fast.
Breaking. He's got the accent.
I
'Tis a Gascon.
I have drawn my pikemen up in line. They are a resolute troop.
Will you accept my hand and accompany me while I review them?
Tell me quickly, what is the secret?
Roxane should
Should?
speak of the letters.
Yes, I know.
Do not spoil all by seeming surprised.
At what?
I must explain to you. 'Tis no great matter, but I but thought of it today on seeing her. You have
Tell quickly.
written her oftener than you think.
How so?
Thus, faith. I had taken in hand to express your flame for you. At times I wrote without saying I am writing.
Ah,
Tis simple enough.
but how did you contrive, since we have been cut off, thus to...
Before dawn, I was able to get through. Yes.
That was simple too. But how oft, pray you, have I written? Twice in the week? 3 times? 4?
More often still.
What? Every day?
Yes. Every day. Twice.
And that became so mad a joy for you that you braved death?
Hush, not before her.
Christian, at last.
Now tell me why. Why, by these fearful paths so perilous, across these ranks of ribald soldiery, have you come?
Love, your letters brought me here.
What say you?
'Tis your fault if I ran risks. Your letters turned my head all this month. How many? And the last one ever bettered than the one before.
What? For a few inconsequent love letters?
Hold your peace. You cannot conceive it. Ever since that night when, in a voice all new to me under your window, you revealed your soul. Ever since have I adored you. Now you've written letters all this month long. Me seemed as if I heard that voice so tender, true, sheltering close. It drew me, the voice of the night.
But
I read and read again, grew faint for love. I was thine utterly. Each separate page was like a fluttering flower petal, loosed from your soul and wafted thus to mine. Imprinted in each word burning was love sincere, all-powerful.
a love sincere, can that be felt, Roxane?
Aye, it can. Were I to throw myself here at your knees, you would raise me. But 'tis my soul I lay at your feet, and it can raise nevermore. I come to crave your pardon for the insult done to you and frivolous. At first I thought I only loved you for your face.
Roxane!
And later, love less frivolous, like a bird that spreads its wings but cannot fly. Arrested by your beauty, your soul drawn close, I loved for both at once.
And now?
You yourself have triumphed over yourself. And now, I love you only for your soul.
Roxane.
Be happy. To be loved for beauty. A poor disguise that time so soon wears threadbare must be to noble souls a torture. Your dear thoughts have now effaced that beauty that so won me at the outset. Now I see clearer.
Oh,
You are doubtful of such victory?
Roxane.
I see you cannot believe it yet. Such love?
I did not ask for such love as that. I would be loved more simply for...
For that which they have all in turns loved in thee? Oh, be loved henceforth in a better way!
No, the first love was best.
Oh, 'tis now that I love best. 'Tis that which is thy true self that I adore. Were your brilliance dimmed?
Hush.
Oh, I should love you still. If your beauty should today depart.
Say not so.
I say it so.
Ugly? How?
Ugly! I swear I'd love you still.
My God.
Are you content at last?
What
What is wrong?
Nothing. I have 2 words to say. 1 second.
But
Those poor fellows shortly doomed to death. My love deprives them of the sight of you. Go, speak to them and smile on them ere they die.
dear Christian.
She goes up to the cadets and they respectfully crowd around her.
Cyrano!
What? Why so pale?
She does not love me.
What?
It is you she loves.
No.
For she loves me only for my soul.
Truly?
Yes. You see, that soul is you. Therefore, 'tis you she loves, and you love her. Oh, you know it.
'Tis true.
You love to madness.
And worse.
Then tell her so.
No.
And why not?
Look at my face. Be answered.
She'd love me were I ugly.
Said she so?
Aye, in those words.
I'm glad she told you that, but believe it not. I'm well pleased she thought to tell you. Take it not for truth. Never grow ugly. She'd reproach me then.
That I intend discovering.
No, I beg.
Aye, she shall choose between us. Tell her all.
No! I will not have it. Spare me this.
Because my face is aptly fair, shall I destroy your happiness? 'Twere too unjust.
And I, because by nature's freak I have the gift to say all that perchance you feel, shall I be fatal to your happiness?
Tell all.
It is ill done to tempt me thus.
Too long I've borne about within myself a rival to myself. I'll make an end.
Christian!
Our union without witness can be easily dissolved if we survive.
My God, he still persists.
I will be loved myself or not at all. Speak to her and then let her choose one of us two.
It will be you.
Pray God. Roxane!
No!
What?
Cyrano has some things important for your ear.
Important? How?
'Tis not. You know how he sees importance in a trifle.
Did he doubt of what I said? Yes, I saw he doubted.
But are you sure you told him all the truth?
Yes, I would love him were he...
Does the word embarrass you before my face, Roxane? It will not hurt me. Say it. If he were ugly.
Yes. Ugly. Hark, I hear a shot.
Hideous.
Hideous, yes.
Disfigured.
I?
Grotesque.
He could not be grotesque to me.
You'd love the same.
The same. Nay, even more.
My God. It's true. Chance love awaits me there. Roxane, listen.
Cyrano!
What?
Oh, hush.
Oh, God.
What is it?
All is over now.
What is the matter? Oh, hark! Another shot.
Too late, now I can never tell.
What has changed?
Nothing.
A cadet enters, trying to hide something they're carrying. They close around it to prevent Roxane approaching.
And those men? What were you just about to say before?
What was I saying? Nothing. Now, I swear that Christian's soul, his nature, that they are the noblest, greatest.
What?
She rushes up, pushes everybody aside.
All is over now.
Oh, Christian.
Struck by the first shot of the enemy.
Oh, come, your muskets.
Christian.
Make haste.
Christian.
Form line.
Christian.
Handle your match.
Ragueneau rushes up, bringing water and a helmet.
Roxane.
Told her all. She loves you still.
How sweet, my love.
Draw ramrods.
He is not dead?
Open your charges with your teeth.
Oh, his cheeks grow cold against my own.
Ready? Present.
A letter. 'Tis for me.
My letter.
Fire.
Roxane, Hawk, they fight!
Oh, stay yet a while. He is dead. You knew him, you alone. Was not his a beauteous soul, a soul wondrous,
Aye, Roxane.
an inspired poet,
Aye, Roxane.
and a mind sublime,
Oh, yes.
a heart too deep for common minds to plumb, a spirit subtle and charming.
Aye, Roxane.
Dead, my love.
Aye. And let me die today, since all unconscious she mourns me in him.
It is a signal! Trumpet flourishes! The French bring the provisions into camp! Hold but the place a while!
See, there is blood upon the letter. Tears.
Surrender!
No!
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 Change is even greater.
I will take charge. Take her away.
Oh, God. His tears, his blood.
She swooned away.
Stand fast!
Lay down your arms!
No!
No.
Now that you have proved your valor, sir, fly and save her.
So be it. Gain but time. The victory is ours.
Good. Farewell, Roxane.
There is tumult, shouting, cadets reappearing, wounded, falling on the scene. Cyrano rushes to battle, but is stopped by Carbon, who is streaming blood.
We are breaking. I am wounded twice.
Gascons! All Gascons, never turn your backs! Have no fear. I have 2 deaths to avenge, my friend who's slain, and my dead happiness.
Cyrano.
Look there! Lace handkerchief broidered with her name! Fall on them, Gascons! Crush them! Fifer, play!
The fife plays. They're climbing the redoubt!
Let us salute the men! Fire!
Fire! I'm now a Spanish officer. The cadets are all dying. Who are these men who rush on death?
The bold cadets of Gascony, of Carbon, of Casteljaloux, brawling, swaggering boastfully. Come, the bold cadets!
His voice drowned in battle and curtain, Act 5. We're at Cyrano's Gazette, 15 years later, autumn 1655. Park of the Sisters of the Holy Cross en Paris. At the rising of curtains, nuns are walking to and fro, some are seated. Surrounded by an older sister, we see Mother Margarita, Sister Martha, and Sister Claire.
Sister Claire glanced in the mirror once, nay twice, to see if her quite suited.
'Tis not well.
But I saw Sister Martha take a plume out of her tart.
That was ill done, my sister.
A little glance.
And such a little plum.
I shall tell this to Monsieur Cyrano.
Eh, pretty do not. He will mock.
He'll say we nuns are vain.
And greedy.
Aye, and kind.
Is it not true, pray, Mother Marguerite, that she has come each week on Saturday for 10 years to the convent?
Aye, and more. Ever since 14 years ago, the day his lady friend brought here, midst our woolen coifs, the worldly mourning of her widow's veil, like a blackbird's wing among the convent doves, and also doves.
He only has the skill to turn her mind from grief, unsoftened yet by time. It's cheerful when he comes.
Never fear. God knows him well.
But every Saturday when he arrives, he tells me, Sister, I must eat meat on Friday.
Ah, he says so. Well, the last time he came, food had not passed his lips for 2 whole days. He's poor.
Who told you so, dear mother?
Ah, Monsieur Lebray.
None help him?
He permits not. In an alley at the back, Roxane appears dressed in black. De Guiche, imposing and aged, walks by her side. They saunter slowly. 'Tis time we go in. Madame Madeline walks in the garden with a visitor.
The Marshal of Grammont?
Is he, I think?
'Tis many months now since he came to see her.
They exit. De Guiche and Roxane come forward silently and stop close to an embroidery frame.
You stay here still, ever vainly fair, even in widow's weeds.
Ever.
Still faithful.
Still.
Am I forgiven?
Aye. Since I am here.
I, perchance, too little knew him. And his last letter, ever next to your heart?
Aye.
Dead, you still love him, still.
At times, meseems he is but partly dead. Our hearts still speak as if his love still living wrapped me round.
Cyrano comes to see you?
Often, aye. Dear, kind old friend. We call him my Gazette. He never fails to come. Beneath this tree they placed his chair, if it be fine. I wait. The clock strikes, and at the last stroke, I hear him tap his cane down the steps. He seats himself, gently mocks my tapestry that's never done. He tells me all the gossip of the week. Ah, why, here's Bret. How goes it with our friend?
Ill, very ill.
How?
Oh, he exaggerates.
All that I prophesied, desertion, want. His letters now make him fresh enemies, attacking the sham nobles, sham devout, sham brave, the thieving authors, all the world.
Ah, but his sword still holds them all in check. None get the better of him.
Time will show.
But I fear for him. Not man's attack. Solitude, hunger, cold December days that wolf-like steal into his chamber dear. Lo, the assassins that I fear for him. Each day he tightens by one hole his belt. That poor nose tinted like old ivory.
Pity him not. He has lived out his vows, free in his thoughts and as in his actions free.
My lord.
True. I have all and he has not. Yet I were proud to take his hand. Adieu.
I go with you.
'Tis true. I envy him. Look you, when life is brimful of success, though the past hold no action found, one feels 1,000 self-disgusts, of which the sum is not remorse, but a dim, vague unrest. And as one mounts the steps of worldly fame, the duke's furred mantles trail within their folds a sound of dead illusions, vain regrets, a rustle, scarce a whisper, like as when, mounting the terrace steps by your morning robe, sweeps in its train the dying autumn leaves.
You are pensive?
True, I am. Monsieur Lebret, a word with your permission.
Yes.
True that none dare to attack your friend, but many hate him. Yesterday at the Queen's card play, 'twas said that Cyrano may die by accident. Be prudent.
He's coming here. I'll warn him, but...
What is it?
Ragueneau would see you, madame.
Oh, let him come. He comes to tell his troubles. Having been an author, poor fellow, by now he's singer,
Bathing man,
and then actor,
beadle,
wig maker.
teacher of the lute.
What will he be today by chance?
Madame, you are here, sir.
Tell all your miseries to him. I will return anon.
But, Madame,
Roxane goes out with the Guiche. Ragueneau goes towards Lebray.
since you are here, 'tis best she should not know. I was going to your friend just now, was but a few steps from the house. When I saw him go out, I hurried to him, saw him turn the corner. Suddenly, from out a window where he was passing, was a chance, maybe, a lackey let fall a large piece of wood.
Cowards! Oh, Cyrano!
I ran. I saw
'Tis hideous.
our poet, sir, our friend, struck to the ground, a large wound on his head.
He's dead?
No, but I bore him to his room. Ah, his room. What a thing to see. That garret.
He suffers?
No, his consciousness has flown.
Oh, saw you a doctor.
One came who was kind.
My poor Cyrano. We must not tell this to Roxane too suddenly. What said this leech?
Said, what? I know not. Fever, meningitis.
Oh.
Could you but see him? All his head bound up, but let us haste. There's no one by his bed, and if he try to rise, sir, he might die.
Come, through the chapel. 'Tis the quickest way.
Monsieur Lebret! Lebret goes when I call. 'Tis some new trouble of good Ragueneau's. What a beauty in September's close. My sorrows eased. April's joy dazzled it, but autumn wins it with her dying calm. I see the famous armchair where he sits. He'll be here now.
A clock
Why?
strikes.
Why, the hour struck. How strange to be behind his time today. Surely he must come soon. Nothing could hinder him.
Monsieur de Bergerac?
Late. For the first time all these 14 years.
Aye, it is villainous. I was stayed. A bold, unwelcome visitor.
Some creditor.
Aye, lady, the last creditor, who has a debt to claim from me.
And have you paid it?
No, not yet. I put it off. Said, cry you mercy, this is Saturday. I have get a standing rendezvous that not first. Call in an hour's time.
Oh, well, a creditor can always wait. I shall not let you go ere twilight falls.
Happily perforce I'll quit you ere it falls.
How now? You have not teased the sister?
True! Sister, come here! What, those bright eyes bent ever on the ground?
Oh?
Hush, 'tis not. I broke fast yesterday!
That's how he is so pale. Come presently to the refectory. I'll make you a drink, a famous bowl of soup.
Aye.
There, see? You are more reasonable today.
Oh, the sister would convert you?
Nay, not I.
Stay! I will surprise you two! I permit you, it is something new to pray for me. Tonight at chapel time, good Sister Martha is struck dumb.
I did not wait your leave to pray for you.
Her embroidered tapestry. Shrew me if my eyes will ever see it finished.
I was sure to hear that well-known jest.
A light breeze causes leaves to fall.
The autumn leaves. See how brave they fall in their last journey downward from the bough, wrought within the clay, yet lovely still, hiding the horror of the last decay. All the wayward grace of careless flight.
What? Melancholy? You?
Nay, Roxane.
Well, then let the dead leaves fall the way they will, and we shall chat. Have you nothing new to tell my court gazette?
Listen, Saturday the 19th, having eaten an excess of pear conserve, the king felt feverish. The lancet quelled this treasonable revolt, and the royal pulse beats at normal pace. At the Queen's Ball on Sunday 30, score of the best white wax and tapers were consumed. Our troops, they say, have chased the Austrians, for sorcerers were hanged. The little dog of Madame d'Athos took a dose.
I bid you hold your tongue, Monsieur de Bergerac.
Tuesday, the court repaired to Fontainebleau. Wednesday, the Montglat at the Comte de Fiesque. No! And Thursday, Mancini, Queen of France. Friday, the Montglat, the Comte de Fiesque said yes. And Saturday, the 26th.
He closes his eyes, head falls forward. There is silence.
He swoons. Cyrano?
What is this? Nay, on my word, 'tis nothing. That old wound of Eris sometimes, let it be.
Dear friend.
'Tis nothing. It will pass soon. See? It has passed.
Each of us has a wound. I have mine. Not yet healed, my old wound. 'Tis here, beneath this letter brown with age, all stained with teardrops, still stained with blood.
Twilight begins to fall.
This letter. You promised me one day that I should read it.
What would you read his letter?
Yes, I would fain. Today, please.
See? Here it is.
Roxane, adieu. I soon must die. This very night, beloved, and I feel my soul heavy with love untold, I die. No more as in days of old, my loving, longing eyes will feast on your last gesture. Yea, the least. Remind me the way you touch your cheek with your finger softly as you speak. Me, I know that gesture well. My heart cries out, I cry, farewell.
How you read that letter. One would think that.
My life, my love, my jewel, my sweet. My heart has been yours in every beat.
You read in such a voice so strange, and yet it is not the first time I've heard that voice.
She comes near without his knowing, passes behind his chair, leans over him, looks at the letter. Darkness deepens.
Here dying, and there, in the land on high, I am he who loved, who loves you, I.
How can you read? It's too dark to see.
He starts, turns, sees her close to him, suddenly alarmed, holds his head down. In the dusk, which has now completely enfolded them, she says very slowly,
And 14 years long, he has played this part of the kind old friend who comes to laugh and chat.
Roxane.
'Twas you.
No, never, Roxane, no.
I should have guessed each time he said my name.
No, it was not
It
I.
was you.
I swear.
I see through all the generous counterfeit, the letters you.
No,
The sweet, mad love words, you.
no.
Yes, the voice that thrilled the night, you. You.
I swear you err.
The soul. It was your soul.
I loved you not.
Oh, you loved me not.
'Twas he.
You loved me.
No.
See how you falter now.
No, my sweet love, I never loved you.
Why keep silence all these 14 years when on this letter which he never wrote, the tears were your tears?
The bloodstains were his.
Why? Then that noble silence kept so long, broken today for the first time. Why?
Lebre and Ragueneau enter running.
Why?
What madness! Here! I knew it well.
What now?
He has brought his death by coming, madam.
You've interrupted the Gazette. Saturday, 26th, at dinner time. Assassination of de Bergerac.
He takes off his head. They see the bandages.
Cyrano. His head all bound. What has chanced? How? Who?
Be struck down, pierced by sword in the heart from a hero's hand. That I had dreamed, I, of all men, in an ambuscade struck from behind, and by a lackey's hand. It's very well I am foiled. foiled and all, even in my death.
Monsieur?
Ragueneau, weep not so bitterly. What do you now, old comrade?
Trim the lights for Moliere's stage.
Moliere!
Yes. But I leave tomorrow. I cannot bear it. Yesterday, they played Scapin. I saw he'd thieved a scene from you.
What, a whole scene?
Oh, yes, indeed, monsieur. The famous one. Que diable, allez-y faire?
Moliere has stolen that?
Us. He did well. How went the scene?
Oh, how they laughed.
Look, you. It was my life to be the prompter everyone forgets. That night, when 'neath your window Christian spoke under your balcony, you remember? Well, there was the allegory of my whole life. I in the shadow at the ladder's foot, while others lightly mount to love and fame. Here on the threshold drear of death, I pay my tribute with the rest to Moliere's genius and Christian's fair face.
The chapel bell chimes.
Sister. Sister?
Oh, no one. Leave me not. When you come back, I should be gone for aye.
The nuns enter the chapel, organ sounds.
I was somewhat fain for music. Hark, 'tis come.
Live, for I love you.
No. In fairy tales, when to the ill-starred prince the lady says, I love you, all his ugliness fades fast, but I remain the same. Up to the last.
I have marred your life. I
You have blessed my life. Ever on me had rested woman's love. My mother even could not find me fair. I had no sister, and when grown a man, I feared the mistress who would mock at me, but I have had your friendship.
Ah, your other lady love is come. 'Tis the moon.
I see.
I loved but once, yet twice I lose my love.
Hark you, Bret, I shall reach the moon soon. Tonight, alone, with no projectiles aid.
What are you saying?
I tell you, it is there. There that they send me for my paradise. There I shall find at last the souls I love in exile. Galileo, Socrates.
No, it is too clumsy, too unjust. So great a heart, so great a poet. Die like this.
Hark to Bret, who scolds.
Dear friend.
What ho? Cadets of Gascony. The elemental mass, ah yes.
He raves.
Philosopher, metaphysician, rhymer, brawler, and musician, famed for his lunar expedition and the unnumbered duels he fought, and lover also by interposition. Here lies Hercule Savien de Cyrano de Bergerac, who was everything yet was not. I cry you pardon, but I may not stay. See the moon ray that comes to call me hence.
He falls back in his chair.
I would not bid you mourn less faithfully that good, brave Christian. I would only ask that when my body shall be cold in clay, you wear those sable mourning weeds for two. And mourn a while for me in mourning him.
I swear it to you.
Not there. What? Seated? No. No! Let no one hold me up. Only this tree. It comes. Yet now my feet have turned to stone, my hands are gloved with lead. But since death comes, I must face him afoot, and with sword in hand.
It's Cyrano.
Cyrano?
Why, I well believe he dares to mock my nose. Insolent! What say you? It is useless! I know, but who fights ever hoping for success? I fought for lost cause, and for fruitless quest. You there, who are you? Ah, I know you now, old enemies of mine. Ha! Ha! Have at you! And compromise! Prejudice! Treachery! Surrender I? Polly! No, never. You too. Folly. You, I know that you will lay me low at last. Let be. Yet I fall fighting. Fighting still. You strip from me the laurel and the rose. Take all. Despite you, there is one thing I hold against you all, and when tonight I enter heaven's fair courts, and lowly bowed sweep with doffed casque the threshold blue, one thing is left. That void of stain or smudge I bear away from you.
He's
White plume.
And the curtain falls. End of Cyrano de Bergerac.
God!
Oh my god. I'm not crying, you're crying.
Why? So fun last week. Oh man, it was all jokes and puns and shit. Oh, I loved it.
It was all I know, right? It's like the first half of it is so charming and so cute.
Oh,
and
they
so
just set
funny,
you
and
up
then
for
it's
the
like-
fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first half was like when we did 12th Night, and the second half was like when we did Gatsby.
Right?
I was getting some serious Gatsby vibes. Oh, thank you, Kawhi, thank you. Just saying, thank
Yay.
you.
It's a raid.
It's
Yeah,
raiding men. Oh, wait.
Oh, Kyle. Oh, Kyle's rating. Oh, but we're ending the stream.
Bold.
Well,
get us
we'll
going.
stay and chat for just a
Okay.
bit, and then we'll go maybe raid somebody else.
Hang on.
So that's sad.
Spread the
Oh.
raid
So
around.
that happened.
That's right.
So
Spread the rain
So
around.
one thing that I love about this show in particular is I think everyone is either redeemed or has or they just become a better person. I love that Christian and Cyrano are never Kyle McCarley, hi!
Oh my god,
You've
so
just
many
been
people.
rated by 62
Hi.
people. Hello, everyone.
We're just going to start this over from the beginning.
Back to one, people.
Hi. So,
Thank you for coming to the
Kyle.
evening show.
Yeah, so we just wrapped up Cyrano de Super Sad, Cyrano de Bergerac, which we all discovered is super fun for the first 3 acts, and then
Such a
super
comedy.
sad, and then super sad.
Yep.
We're just
But beautiful.
chatting about the show, and I love the relationship.
It's the
between-
1800s version of the movie Click.
Aiden, no.
I don't think I ever saw Click.
It's oh my gosh.
Starring Adam Sandler.
Oh my god. Okay, that's why.
I will
There it
say
is.
it's worth a watch.
Cyrano
Okay.
de
It's
Bummer.
worth a watch.
Right.
Yeah, definitely Cyrano de Bummer.
Bummer. It's so-
Yeah.
But I love Christian and Cyrano and the whole interaction that they have when they're at the siege, and it's like, no, you tell it, da 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 da, and I'll be happy for you. It's not like
They loved and respected each other.
they did.
It was not a rival.
They did.
They both
and it's-
truly
Situation.
loved Roxane to the point where they wanted her to be happy.
and
Yeah.
and they loved each other too, and I love that it's not some there's no like weird, it's a triangle but it's not.
No, yeah.
It's not. It's like
It's a really flat triangle.
it's a moon.
My always biggest question is, was Cyrano in the wrong for never giving Roxane the chance?
Oh.
That's always the interesting thing to me. Is it's
it's such an interesting thing.
Because she's always protected, right? Like
Yeah.
everything that we see, like she's a really brave soul. I love her charging to the battlefield. That is seriously one of those like, yes, look at this awesome kick-ass female character who's just like, yeah, I talked my way over here, no big. Also brought food, and then
and I brought snacks.
Brought snacks. Like
who wants fruit by the foot?
Me. Do you have a juice box? Yes.
But yeah,
orange slices.
I can't help but be kind of mad at Cyrano that she was like in mourning for 14 years, and I get the respect he had for Christian, but what about?
That's also a lot of his own fear, right?
No, yeah.
You know, we all have those insecurities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody hates Cyrano more than Cyrano hates Cyrano.
Oh no.
No, I do love, like, that final monologue has some Hamilton vibes.
Oh, yeah.
I remember death, it seems so much like a memory.
Yeah. No, that I love all the allusion, like the talking about Moliere stealing the writing, the reference to being a prompter backstage, because that was a way more common in use than we do today. And then just like, yeah, the all the allusions to that writer, right? Like this very much feels like Edmond Rostand's talking about himself in that whole last few months.
It does get the second half did feel very personal.
Right?
It did feel almost like a diary entry.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, am I allowed to read that? Like, this feels very personal to the writer.
Yeah.
You know what? If you put it on his live journal, you can read it, okay?
I also
follow me on Blogger.
I also love that
His live journal.
that de Guiche had a redemption,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I think is just
Yeah, it was 15 years of waiting around and going like, that was pretty fucked up. That was a pretty fucked up thing I did.
Wow, I was gonna totally send them to die, man.
It's like how most of us think of high school, you know? Like
Oh, and he was also gonna like try and have Roxane marry someone so he could have access to her.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I was kind of a dick. Like, yeah.
It's like I was going through some hard times back then.
Sure you were.
Oh man, this was beautiful. Mad props to Deva for creating this version and for casting it.
Amazing.
It's a beautiful cut. It's so well done.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not crying. You're crying. Literally, like I'm back there reading stage directions and like doing this.
I've fallen in love with this show.
It's so good.
And also,
it is
just
so
like,
so good.
I'm just gonna say.
I feel like this is one that's gonna have to be done again at some point.
Yeah.
I have decided that Ragueneau is my Samwise Gamgee of this play.
I brought food, Mr. Cyrano.
There's just
I've got limbus bread.
It's 11sies.
I'm going to siege Aris. I know, and I'm going with you.
Like I know,
Marry it for you.
I know Bret is
Nerds.
more the Samwise to Cyrano's Frodo. Even though Cyrano is not like Frodo at all. Just go with this metaphor for just a second.
Okay.
We're following.
There's just something about Ragueneau that I adore, and it might be because I'm always hungry, but it's just like. But what I love is that it's just like I'm a baker and stuff, but I love poetry, and I'm gonna be a poet, and I'm gonna do it in everything, and he loves so much. In the end, where he comes in and he's like, and he took your scene, and how was it? Oh, it was really good.
I'm sad about it.
It's so, and then I can also just with Aurora with your insights, I can totally see you directing this at some point.
Oh, it's been on my to direct list for years.
Oh my gosh, no! As we were doing this, and you're like just pointing out different things that I wasn't actively thinking about, but then just adding these layers, I'm like,
It's honestly, I'm really so blessed. I got to go see a production of it at South Coast Repertory
Ooh, that's a good one.
15 years ago, and it was amazing because most people don't do this show because it calls for a lot. Like you have to have a battlefield, you have to have them in a show within a show, like there's a whole bunch of stuff, and they went all out for that production. It was
You have to essentially do the balcony scene from Romeo and Juliet at one point. Like, yeah.
It was so good. And it was like one of those things where it's like, I really want to direct this one day, but gosh darn it, someone needs to give me a good budget. Like
I feel like you'd either need a really good budget or do it like really minimalist.
Yeah,
Like,
everything on a green screen.
Oh, I was gonna say my background.
Just a lot of like blocks and stuff. Yeah.
The background I had earlier was a set design, and it's actually really fun. Let's see if I can put it back on because you can kind of see this is definitely the battlefield, but you can also see this is one of those transitional set designs, so that it becomes the nunnery, it becomes the stage.
You can see that.
Yeah, I always love that kind of stuff.
I do. I like when. I mean, I love seeing a production that goes balls to the wall. That's just like full out. But I also really love when things are transitional or minimal because it just adds a layer of just theater. There was
absolutely, and it plays to the audience's intelligence because we will go there with you.
I think one of my favorite experiences of seeing a show was when I saw King Lear, and it was Ian McKellen, which obviously that's going to be number one already. So saw that. I have a picture of my husband and Ian McKellen looking at each other for a moment because I told him, I was like, no, this is West End. We go to the side door. Like, we do this. And they made eye contact, and I watched them make eye contact, and it was this moment of like, ah! You heard the angels. But so what happened in the show was the show prior, we were seeing the evening show. The matinee was canceled because Sir Ian had fallen on his way. He was going on the tube to get to the show because he's super, and then he tripped. And so they canceled the first one, but he did a Q&A with the audience, which is also awesome. But the second half, what happened was, so when I saw the show, they were doing the full show. Intermission happened, and then the crew came on the speaker and were basically letting us know, like, yeah, we can't get the stage lights to work. Hang tight, everybody. So they kept trying to get the stage lights working. And then the director comes on. He's like, we still want to finish the show for you. We're going to have to use the work lights.
Oh my gosh.
So, but the thing is so we saw some transitions. Like it wasn't minimalist, but it wasn't like all out set design. It was in between. But the thing that I really liked that Taryn actually was pointing out was, when Shakespeare was performed, there weren't spotlight, there weren't all of these things. And so you were just seeing it in daylight so you could see everything. And so it did feel that because the lighting was stripped away, that we got to see just the more raw version of it, which was super.
You got to watch the performances more than anything else. Yeah.
I mean, as an actor, I would never want to be on stage with work lights. Just work. I would be like, no, give me.
I need my spotlight.
Flattering light, please.
He's just a Broadway baby.
But before we wrap, Mitch, can you tell us one more time where we can get where we can reach you for information for next Thursday, please?
Yeah. So for those of you guys that are just joining us, I'm doing a fundraiser on Thursday evening at 7. It starts at 7:15 to raise some funds for AAPI month. So it's all online. It's on Zoom. If you guys want more information, look me up on my socials on Twitter and Instagram at Mitch Narito. And I can send you the Zoom link and the password. I just don't want to put it out there just because, like privacy
lots of
reasons.
people, right?
Yeah. So if anyone is interested, come on by. If anything, come watch a free show.
Yeah. And I retweeted it also. So it's on his socials and mine right now.
Thank you, everybody.
Yee. Get free theater.
Awesome.
All right. Anyone else have anything they want to plug before we all, I don't know, go cry or sleep or something?
No, just
Next week, if you are in the LA area and you want to see Chris Hackney and I sign stuff, we're doing
what?
a Game Realms on the 29th.
Can
Live and in person?
Live and in person.
Can
Still
you
like
What?
Yeah, there's like a table and a half of length between us, but we will be signing stuff in honor of SMT Nocturne releasing officially on Tuesday. I think if you pre-ordered, you got access to it on Friday. But yes,
Can
there
you
will
repeat
be
where
we
that
will be
is?
doing a signing live and in person. It's at Game Realms in Burbank.
In Burbank.
It'll be super fun, hopefully. And
Game Realms
everybody will be
in-
cool, and we will show that we can do events like this again as long as everybody is cool, which they
And
will be, because
can
you're
you-
awesome.
Can you tell us
Yeah.
again what time and day of the week that is?
So it is Saturday the 29th at Game Realms in Burbank. It is at, I believe, 2 p.m., 2 to 4. I will check. I'll be tweeting about it over the course of the week. But yes, it's the thing. It's going to be fun. We're going to have Prince. There's going to be the game.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so exciting!
I will be in Burbank at that time, so I may
Oh
Oh
drop
my
by.
god.
I
You can sign my chest, Christian.
I will.
Yes!
I could be in Burbank with Mitch at that time.
I could also be in Burbank. We're just gonna bum rush Game Realms and
IRL raid.
I'm allowed to sign.
it is IRL raid.
I will not be in California, but have fun.
Yes!
Christian, will you have like prints or anything to sell? So we can
Yes.
sign?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Take pictures from far away. We will sign the game. It'll be great.
So cool.
And I have just just a couple baby announcement thingies. I had an audiobook come out recently, if you want to hear it.
Yes.
It's called The Choice. It's kind of sad. I'm recording another one now. But it's the true story of a Polish family who is Jewish who escapes during World War II. So it's written more middle grade, but very informative, and it is based on the author's in-laws and their journey. And then friends I play Dungeons and Dragons with on Tuesday nights, Perception Studio. They are pushing for partner right now still. So if you are interested in playing, watching me play Dungeons and Dragons and being pretty much a drunk gnome cleric rogue doing chaotic things, come hang.
Cool.
And they have and if you like that, on Wednesday nights, I'm not there, but they play D&D with their felted friends, which is always super fun.
Puppet D&D?
Oh yeah, it's delightful.
It's
Oh,
bananas. Super fun. All right, thank you. I'm gonna wrap up this stream.
thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.